love to journal? Do you want to learn to start journaling? Do you have a great ecosystem of your journals and you want to see how someone else does it? Do you want to build your own ecosystem? This is the right place for you. Welcome. Today we're going through my journals ecosystem. There's a lot to go over. Let's look at the pile first. Yeah. This is it. Now, I've seen some really beautiful ones online. That's not what this is. This is not about beauty. This is not aesthetic. This is not for content. This is what I actually use. This is what helps me work through things. This is what works for my brain. It keeps me organized. It keeps me sane. And also documenting my life is a big part of it. So this is me across many notebooks. How many are there actually? 8 notebooks. 8 notebook ecosystem. It's a little bit unhinged, but I am not a convenience person. I'm not a catch-all person. I like categories, I like specificity, and I love stationery. So anytime I have the chance to buy a new notebook and start using a new notebook for something, I'm gonna take that chance. And that's what this is. I told YouTube, I wanna make history. And that's what this is. Wait, I'm gonna pose for the thumbnail, okay? I'll edit this out. Should I smile or should I look stressed? What would make you click on the video? If I looked stressed with a big pile of books or if I was smiling. I'll try both. Let's get into it. Let's actually start from the bottom. This is probably the most important. All of them are important in their own way. You'll understand. You will understand. Number 1, journal number 1. This is she has a pen because I was using it right now. This is a moleskin. It's a beautiful turquoise, slim moleskin, and it has lines super close together on the paper, which I absolutely love. And this is, I think, the closest thing to what I could call a diary. Big crash outside, construction. This is just my diary. This is the most recent one. I've actually got another one that I filled up. I filled up many through my childhood, but unfortunately I don't have those anymore. So this one I'm really planning on holding on to. I'm almost done with this one. I've got like 20 pages left to fill. And this one started in 2022. So I take time to fill these out. I'm not a frequent journaler, but I still have an ecosystem. And that just goes to show you don't have to be somebody that journals every day to have an ecosystem. It's just all about reflecting on what happened, reflecting on bad things, reflecting on drama, issues with friends, issues in my own life, family issues. I'm trying to, though, make it a point to not only fill this notebook with negative things, because then when I grow up and I read this and I'm like, what was my life like in the 2020s? You know, it was the 20s. I'm gonna be like, wow, I was going through it. But that's not true. My life is pretty good. I'm going through it a lot less than I'm not going through it. Luckily, I'm very privileged to have that. And I'm also making it a point to write down the good days. So yesterday I had a really beautiful day. I went on a walk. I had like some creative time. I got some work done. I spent time with my boyfriend on FaceTime. And I make it a point to write those down too. Sometimes when I have a really good day with my mom and sister, like when we go to play in the snow, it's a really special day. We come back and have hot chocolate. I make sure to document those too. And that's the general tip I would give you. Of course, journaling is a method for a lot of people to work through difficult things, to work through sad things and angry things. But it's also important to capture the happy things. I guess it depends, because some people want to journal to write it down and never look at it again. But some people journal to capture their life and to read. And I love reading my old journals, just seeing the headspace I was in back then. I would recommend writing down both the good and the bad, so you can remember how blessed you've been your whole life, but also remember the tough things that you got through and how much better you are for it. Notebook number 2 is the scrapbook. You can see she's a little thick. I think I have shown her on this channel before. Maybe it was my TikTok, I'm not sure. But she's old. I've had her for a few years. I use this way less frequently, like a couple times a year. I'll just collect a bunch of scrap and memories. I have a Ziploc that I keep full of stuff to put into this, and then once in a while I'll sit down, empty it out, stick everything in here. And I don't scrapbook in an aesthetic, beautiful Pinterest way. That's not the point of scrapbooking for me. For me, it's about memories. So I'm gonna give you an example. These are birthday cards. This is a piece of decor that was on my senior prom night. The theme was James Bond, and we had these playing cards scattered on the table. So that's from high school. These are birthday cards from my friends. Flowers that my boyfriend sent me in here that I dried and pressed. EKG stickers from when I had a health scare. Boarding passes from when I went to Dubai and to India. This is my boyfriend and I's first time in Spain. All our memories from there. A page with all my first Paris memories from 2023. So that's how this one works, and it doesn't work. I mean, this one turned out to be a pretty aesthetic page, but the point is to keep a piece of that trip and to write down the memories. So if I have a photo strip, of my friends and I write down the memory of squeezing into the photo booth together. If I have a leaf, I write down that this leaf is from Saint-Germain. So it's all about that. It's all about the memes. I have another photo strip in here. Where is this from? What is this confetti from my mom's birthday? So that's what this is. It's got a lot of cute stuff, a lot of sentimental stuff, and a lot of special stuff in here too. So this one is my scrapbook. This one is a more specific kind of journal / scrapbook. This one was actually specifically for my exchange semester in Paris, but I think now it will evolve into like a travel scrapbook maybe. I'm not sure what its final form is going to be, but you can see that it started off a few different ways. I started off as a sketchbook, just some character doodles, just having fun basically. Started off as a sketchbook, and then I didn't touch it for a while, and then it starts like this. It is a blow by blow of my entire exchange semester in Paris. It starts with the boarding pass of my flight there. My first day there, my best friend Etheria and I went to buy berries because I was staying in her apartment. I didn't even have my apartment yet. We went to the grocery store and they gave us our berries in this grocery bag, so I kept a piece of it. And it literally starts with, so I'm moving to Paris. My flight was at 8:50. After weeks preparation and a lot of weighing and repacking suitcases, Mom, Yeshu and I took a cab to the airport at 6 a.m. We got there and did a baggage self-drop, which I love because the clerks at the check-in desks are always horrible. And it's just all these memories. When I lived in Paris, my building was obviously very cute and Parisian, and it had this tile on the staircases and the landings. And I lived on the 3rd floor. So I would look at these tiles every day, every morning, every night, multiple times a day. So I drew the pattern of those tiles. And my first grocery bills in general don't do well in journals because the ink dissolves. So I wrote it down exactly what I bought, how much it cost in euros. That's my first ever grocery bill of living alone. I've never lived alone before I went to Paris. This was a wine label from the first bottle of wine I had in Paris. This is wrapping paper from a present somebody gave me, and I wrote over it and I incorporated it into the page. So I also did this thing when I was there where I would write down like sticky notes to myself. So I would write like, good morning, charge your watch, do all this, do all this. First day of school, remember to do all of this net tomorrow. So it was like my brain dump before going to bed. I would just have a bunch of things running through my head like, oh, I need to do laundry before I go. I need to hang the clothes so they dry while I'm out. And I would like stay up thinking about it. So instead of staying up, I would sit down, write it all down. If you watch my Paris vlogs, you can see me do that in those vlogs. And I kept all those sticky notes for my journal. That is this notebook. This one's been untouched for a while. I don't know what the next stage will be now that I'm back from Paris. I've been back. I have to find the next destiny for this one. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. The next one is the planner. This one, you know this one. She's in my what's in my bags. She's in my vlogs. She's in my uni videos. She's in my fall semester prep videos. This is the planner. This is the perfect planner. This is the Muji B5 planner. And I bought her in Paris, and it goes until the end of this year, so I'm still using it. It has a yearly spread for birthdays. It has monthly spreads to just have important dates written down. And then every week is like one page like this, and then a grid page. So here I have my daily submissions and to-dos, and also general thoughts and brain dumps. And I remember when I started to write my thesis, I would write down like, these are my submissions, but every time I would have an idea, I would just write it down there so that when I went to my meetings with my advisor, I would have any thoughts I needed to discuss with him written down over here. So it's kind of multi-purpose, but largely it is a planner. It's a way for me to keep track of things, to remember important dates, deadlines, especially for assignments in university. It goes a bit out of use during the summer when I don't have school, but it comes back in full swing when the semester starts. I plan out my weeks, and it's amazing. I love it. I have always bought planners and never finished using them, but this one I've consistently used for a full year, and I probably will repurchase this one because it's the only one that's kept me using it all these months. That's this planner. It's a great planner. It's a perfect size. You can take it with you everywhere, but it's still big enough for me to write. Say I need to remember a very specific set of detailed instructions or make a very long list for a trip or something. I can also keep track of that. So it's perfect. I love this planner. This is the only planner that I would recommend. I've tried everything. I've tried bullet journaling. This is it. This is the answer. Next, this one is kind of a continuation of this one. So actually, I bought this notebook in 2022. It's the same journal, but then my boyfriend gifted me this one, and I was way too excited to own a real Moleskine because these are the Mercedes of notebooks. So I switched over to this one. So this one took a bit of a break. I only got like a few pages in, and then I stopped. So once this one runs out another 20 pages, this is going to be her successor. But I think I'm a little bit in love with the world today. I planned this first entry out on the way home. This week was horrific. Every hour of every day was busy. I was at school or at work or in public transport. When I was home, there was chores. So many I didn't even get to do the studying I was supposed to be doing. Then there was a group project due, so the Zoom meetings and Google Docs and so on. I don't want to remember it. This week of pure business and no pleasure, capped off with no sleep since Wednesday night. The insomnia is back. Every October, my insomnia comes back, it looks like. Today morning, I got up at 7-ish. I got ready in a rush and I had no time to finish or pack neither breakfast nor tea. After going to work looking like a gremlin yesterday and seeing all the put-together polished women on the train at 8 a.m., I was determined to look nice. I did my hair, my makeup, I put on a skirt, I even wore my uncomfortable Doc Martens that make my socks slide down. Of course, I look nothing like those women, but I felt a lot better about myself. The lessons were good, the same kids as yesterday, so they warmed up to me a little. I had soupy instant ramen for lunch, which was unhealthy but fun. I'm reading a really good book. It's called Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow. Little did I know, I still can't stop talking about the book 3 years later. I got through a solid chunk of it today. After school is where I became super happy. See, the weather was perfect, 13 degrees, sun, crisp, cool enough to wear tights and my coat, but not yet cold enough to warrant a scarf, gloves, or a hat. I was perfectly physically comfortable, not too warm or too cold, and I love when my hair is curled and I can see it around my face and my peripheral vision. The walk home was leaves swirling around my legs, everything bathed in golden sunlight. Then I turned into our street and the neighbor's new puppy was on a walk. I actually got up the nerve to ask to pet him, and he leapt around and kissed me. He was so sweet and excited. Then I got home and I cooked dinner. It was peaceful, no distractions, and fun. I had all the right ingredients and it was just easy and uncomplicated. This one has a more observational tone when I started because I was getting back into writing after a big break through school. I just love it. I love reading back these entries, and she's going to be taking over from this one because this one only has like 20 pages left and then it's her turn. So I'd actually started this one, but I switched to this one, but this one's its time is coming soon. These three are some that I don't see in most people's ecosystem. So these are the really unique ideas. If you are looking for a way to use a notebook or you want to start documenting your life in a different way, here are some ideas. This one is a 10-year-old notebook. This one, my aunt bought it when she went to London. She gave it to me. You can tell that this is 2017 core. This is not a notebook that I would buy today. It's very middle school, but I got it in middle school, so I loved it. And it was so beautiful, and it's from Primark. We didn't have Primark in India. It's so aesthetic back then, 2017, 2018, that I didn't want to use it. So for 2 years, I didn't use it. And then I started to think, what can I use this for? And I decided to document my birthday in it. So it starts from my falling apart because it's so old, but it starts from my 16th birthday, and it starts at how midnight my mom and my sister gave me chocolate, my friends called me, and then in the morning my family woke me up with donuts. And then it also has a haul, all the presents I got for my 16th birthday. I got a clear lip gloss, baby blue nail polish, face masks, Nerds, Skittles, and a cake, and Starbucks. Just really sweet memories of my birthdays, and since then I've been documenting every single birthday. So I also from time to time will do these life snapshots. So you can see in this one it says age 17, location Stockholm, job 12th grade student. And I also did one when I was 21, age 21, location Stockholm, university student, blah blah blah. And it's really interesting how my favorite songs change, my favorite things change, my favorite books change, and it's lovely. And this one is obviously a lot more infrequent. I only write in this at my birthday, so I do a life snapshot for every birthday. If you want a life snapshot template or more detail, I can tell you about that in another video, but I do a life snapshot and then I write about that birthday. It's just really fun to see, and this notebook doesn't get used a lot, but it is full of like birthdays and life snapshots from every year, and I do make it a point. It's part of my birthday traditions to write in this notebook. The next one is this. This is a bit specific to me, but you could apply it to other parts of your life as well. So this is my book Bible. I need to decorate the cover. I haven't decorated it, but a book Bible because I'm trying to write a novel right now. I have been trying to write one for 2 years, but I didn't feel like anything. But now I feel like it's really materializing and becoming something. So I'm a bit more open to talking about it. And this book I bought in France because I was feeling really out of touch with my writing, and I just opened it up and I just started writing memories for my books and writing things I wanted to have in my book. And then I started typing it up, and then it became 25,000 words. So it's at a stage now where it can't be handwritten anymore. It's all typed up. But I do have this book as my Bible now. So while what I write is the actual manuscript, the main points, such as this page is about the magic system and the laws that govern it. This page is a family tree for one of the characters. It needs to grow. And sometimes when I'm writing, I need to write a chapter from another character's perspective so I can understand them better. And those chapters aren't going to be in the book, but they're for me to empathize with the character better. So I write those in here just so I can get into the head of that character and really think how would they act and what's their reasoning and their MO. I also have some pages like this, which are just random, unrelated sentences joining together, me working out big arcs and the plot and what's gonna happen. This one is the whole prologue. This is all stuff that precedes my book. This is the prequel of my book. This is everything that has to have happened, the way that it happened, the way it all connects before the events of my book take place. So it's really useful. It forms the backbone of my book, and I have it open next to me every time I'm writing. And a lot of the times I have a vision of something that I want to happen after my book, or something that I picture my characters doing after the events of my book take place. So I also write that down in here because I want to keep track of it, and you never know when it might be useful. This is my book Bible, and this of course is specific to writing a book. If you're not writing a book, you can use it for other things, like if you want to one day make a movie or a TV show, or if you're in university, you're writing your thesis, things that come up, questions that come up, specific research you want to mention, or research that's tangentially related that you might want to like keep in mind, but that's not coming up directly in your research. So a thesis is something like this would be really useful for. But we're down to our last notebook, and it's the teeny weeny pink one. This one is very specific, okay? If you guys have been watching my channel, or if this is your first time seeing my channel, I'm a chronic overthinker. I've been an overthinker since I was born, okay? Right now I'm in a pretty drama-free era, but obviously there was times when I was in university and life was full of drama. It was that serious. I was going to see people, I was flying back from parties, I had to debrief, and that's why this notebook is small, so that it lived in my purse. And I would just write down things on the way to places. This is like a bus/train notebook. Sometimes I would be going to meet some people that I was having beef with, and I just wanted to get all my thoughts out. But mostly when I was coming back from meeting these people, all the stuff that had happened, all the things that were swirling in my head, all the interactions that I was over analyzing, it just helped to have this notebook in my bag. I could open it and just write it all down, put it out of my mind. Luckily, right now, I don't really need this notebook much, but this is kind of an anxiety notebook. This is kind of a drama and anxiety notebook. It's an on-the-go notebook, but it also has some sweet stuff. Like sometimes I would see something really endearing on a train and I would write it down. Like I would see a girl who curled all of her hair but missed a piece in the back while getting ready. And I thought that's so human and so beautiful that I would just write that down too. So it's a bit of a mix, but it's mostly me going places and coming back from places and reflecting on those experiences. Maybe there will be a time in life when I need this more, or maybe I'm just gonna fill it up with positive stuff now, but when I started this notebook, that was the intention. This was a public transport anxiety notebook, and it starts with, today was so tiring. I'm writing in this overpriced notebook that I decided to treat myself with. I recently got my big paycheck, so for no reason, I've been spending like crazy. Some pages are positive, some pages say, I feel good. I'm writing while walking. The sun is high and strong, but it's a nice breeze. I'm going to collect the package that has my new dress in it. And there's gray clouds on the horizon. I'm wearing the shirt and pants Vidush got me, and it swishes around my legs nicely. I'm on FaceTime with Vidush and Mishti, and it's fun and there's banter. He looks good while driving. I have bean and ramen waiting at home. There's conversations to have and dresses to try on. The ladies at the Centrum shop are so nice and pleasant whenever I see them. I'm enjoying Sex and the City. It's a funny show. Hard to write while walking. And that's the end of the century. It's just pieces of life on the go. But where it gets really severe is when the drama was happening. I would say going to meet the uni girls, not looking forward to it. I'm not scared, but I'm not looking forward to be it. I'm not excited to be excluded and on the fringe of the conversation. Today was one of the days when my hair and makeup wasn't cooperating. I'm wearing my new stretchy top, but it keeps rolling up over my tummy when I sit down, so I have to keep pulling it down. We're meeting at Pincho's, which means this is going to be at least a 2-hour ordeal. And unfortunately, X will be there with her stupid face. She posted a story for Y's birthday calling her one of my favorite people, like she didn't talk shit about her this whole semester. Update. It went really well, I think. This is like last semester again. I feel better and more secure going into the next semester, but I mustn't get swept up and forget all the BS these girls put me through, though that would be easy and very nice. No trains for ages, so writing while I wait for mine. And also I would debrief my boyfriend about these interactions, obviously because I was going through a lot and he would want to know how it went and how I was feeling. So I would write down the main points of the things I wanted to mention to him. So yeah, this is again a very specific notebook, but it's good to have in your purse. course, and instead of letting those thoughts take over while you're going to do something scary, like a job interview or meeting new people or the first day of school, you can write them down and have them leave your headspace and free it up for better things. You know, that's what this notebook is about. Wow, guys, if you sat through that, you are a trooper, and I'm so proud of you. And I hope you enjoyed learning about my complicated and unhinged notebook system, but it really works. I use all of these notebooks. I can definitely say that I love my system. It works for me and it makes me feel good. So that's my notebook system, guys. I need to go drink water now. Maybe I'll journal about it. Bye.